have to do 2 workouts
with it on.
With it on, so yeah.
Alright, I just started the recording, so we'll kind of go through it. But the first new one is the wall overhead press single leg hip bridge with your foot on the foam roller. So I know you have a foam roller.
Yeah.
So let me grab one. I'll work for that. So what you're gonna do? Grab your roller. So George, I'm gonna just kind of get out of the way so everybody doesn't need me to get in their space. All right, let's make sure you can see me with everything. All right, so you got your roller. That foot is gonna go on a roller. Hands are pressing into the wall, and then you're gonna bridge up and down. So again, foot's on the roller the whole time, up and down. And you're gonna do that for 10 each side. You're just gonna be split down. All right, Mandy. So you know your bear crawl position with the pike, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then your next one is the Dynamax Nordic Pledge Plank. So you do have a Dynamax, you said, correct?
Yep.
Okay. I'll show you that one too. We're going to use that quite a bit. Woo. There we go. So with the Dynamax Nordic Pledge Plank, Dynamax. Make sure you can see. I'm going to be doing 5 each side, by the way. But you got your Dynamax. You're going to put it right on like your ankles, right in the back. You're going to get in almost like a push-up position, and then you're going to curl this ball into your butt. Now, see my lower back's arched right now? You want to make sure that doesn't have you. Want to tuck your hips back, and then in this position, you're just going to do a little pledge plank, keeping that ball pulled into your butt the whole time. You want to feel your hamstrings kind of tighten up when you're doing it. So keep the ball tight, keep your lower back neutral, and then pledge back and forth. It is a lot harder than it looks, by the way. Mm-hmm. So that is the next new one. And then the final one is just Dynamax Slam. And you can use the same ball you were just using to curl into your butt. Mm-hmm. Just normal slam. So we're on there from that. And then your next one is a Nordic stability ball rollout. You do have a stability ball, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to grab a ball then. So I'm just making sure. Sometimes people, I'll program something, and after a while, like, oh yeah, I got rid of that thing. Like, that would have been something to tell me. And why did you do that?
Yeah, right.
All right, let me grab a ball. I have like a whole wealth of equipment in one spot. All right, Mandy. So that same ball, that Nordic thing, same idea. You're going to pull this into your hamstrings, hands on the ball. As you're pulling in, you're going to roll out now. Pull back out. So roll out, pull back in. Still want to keep that lower back neutral. Still want to keep the ball pulled into your hamstrings. That would make sense though?
Yep.
Okay. So that is the next new one. Your other one is a single arm kettlebell clean into a rotational press. 5 each side. So now you get a kettlebell. Mm-hmm. All right, Mandy. So kettlebell. Feet are even. You're going to clean it up to your shoulders. Back up a little bit. Once you're there, the side the kettlebell's on, we're going to pivot with that foot and press. Wait, my other foot stays straight ahead though. So I'm kind of turning into that hip and then back down, reset. So one fluid motion so you can see it. Clean, rotate and press. Back down to the start. Again, clean, rotate and press. Let me know how the pressing overhead feels. We can always change it up a little bit. But you'll do all one side and then you'll switch and do the other side. Any questions on that one?
No.
Okay. Then we're moving on. You have a single arm kettlebell rack narrow squat with a super band zercher. So you were doing kind of both before. We're going to switch it up and put them together. So we need your band. You hook it low. So with the band, it's going to go around the crease of your elbow. And the kettlebell is going to go up in rack position. Pull that band out. I'm just gonna turn so you can see me. But palms facing me with the band, feet are narrow, kettlebells in rack position. Stand up. After 5, you'll switch your hands and do 5 more. But that band's gonna try to rotate your torso. You have to make sure that doesn't happen. Keep everything square. You should be breathing in as you lower down and breathing out as you go to stand up. All right. You have a hinged lateral hip shift, horizontal S-band chop. So the band you were just using, you can always attach it higher somewhere after this.
Wait, you missed it. Incline dumbbell
What?
bench press. We know that.
Oh, yeah, I totally skipped that one, but yes, just an incline bench and then just 2 dumbbells.
Okay.
I totally skipped that one. So after that one, then we do the hinged lateral hip shift. You got too excited for this move. So nice and wide. You're good. It's not like a lunge or anything, not super wide. Just a little wider than normal. You're going to hinge and shift to that hip. I'm not lunging all the way down or squatting. Just like a mini shift. Keep your weight on that outside leg. The band you have, you're just going to chop across. Almost like a little bit of a golf swing. But again, we're not super low or anything and trying to turn. Just a little shift into that hip and chop across. Chop across. And then you would do the other side. Let's stay in that hinge position the whole time. That's 10 each side. Our next one is bear crawl position renegade rows. You need 2 dumbbells. Steal 2 of these.
Wrigley's out of here. Huh?
She's in the crate. All right. So bear crawl position. You're going to hold yourself up. Make sure your knees don't touch the ground or your hips wobble in this one. You're just going to push to the ground and row. Set it back down. Push to the ground and row. Set it back down. You're just going to alternate side to side. Just make sure when you set up, those knees are underneath your hips, your toes are tucked up in the back, and your knees stay off. Nothing else should move besides your arm. So as I row, I have to push a little bit harder with the arm I'm standing on to help stabilize. So that is bear crawl position renegade rows. And then the final one before the finisher is a shelk. Just to make sure we're clear on this one. As you curl the ball into your hamstrings, or as you curl the ball to your butt, you're gonna bridge up towards the ceiling and right back out. Now you can rest on the ground, or you can keep the hips up the whole time. It's your choice. But just remember, as the legs come in, the hips get higher. I just don't want to see this separated movement. It should be all one fluid motion. And then your final one is all body weight. Your finisher is all body weight. It's a sit through for 30 seconds. So bear crawl position again. So when we kind of sweep through side to side, you can even put the foot on the ground if you want. You do that for 30 seconds as fast as you can. Then you only rest 15 seconds. That's the hard part. Basically, the 50 seconds is for you to get up and get ready for the next one, which is skater hops. Bouncing on one leg, jump and stick, and you just go side to side for 30 seconds. Only rest 15 seconds. That's basically getting back down to position. When you do both, that counts as 1 round. And if you have 2 or 3, there's no big rest in between. It's always just 30 on, 15 off. So if you do 3 sets, it is a constant work of 30 seconds, rest of 15 for 3 rounds total of each. And then that is it for the A day. Any questions on A before we move to B?
No.
Okay. Then we have a kneeling Copenhagen side plank with a reach. So I'm going to use our roller, but you can use your bench. Grab a roller. So I'm going to use this instead to show you. But you're going to put your foot or your knee on a bench. So my knee is going to be bent. My foot's going to be behind me. I'm not straight legged. So it's a little bend. That's the kneeling Copenhagen. Your other leg is going to go underneath the bench. You're going to kind of pull it up. So my knee's off the ground and kind of squeezing the roller, but you'll be squeezing the bench a little bit. And then you're just going to reach with this top arm a little bit and hang. That's it. So again, I'm squeezing into the roller or the bench, reaching out, and you hold it for about 20 seconds. And then you'll do the other side for 20 seconds. Whew. All right. That was a hard one. The next one is a lateral step down with a dumbbell chop and lift. So, need a box. You can honestly use your stair You can use the bench if you really want to go with the higher one, but I would start a little bit lower. Something around 6 to 12 inches would be good to start with. But a stair is usually good if you don't have a small step. Back this up a little. So, ooh, I might definitely have to angle that up. I'm too tall. There we go. All right, so as I go to step to the side, I'm gonna bring this dumbbell over my hip. So that's the chop. And the lift is lifting up at an angle as I go stand. Back down. I'm holding the sides of the dumbbell. You can also hold the handle, it's up to you. I just like the size of the dumbbell. It doesn't need to be heavy because that lift is hard. As you go step to the side, again, we're chopping to the pocket and then we're lifting away to the opposite shoulder. Straight arms the whole time, chop and lift. And that is the second exercise. Next one, main circuit is single leg RDL with a single arm contra dumbbell reach. You do want your rear foot to the wall. So one dumbbell, nose back, see me on the wall. Whee. So, and this ball out of your way. I'd like you to see me a little bit more. There we go. So the foot that's back will be the same arm that has the dumbbell, and I'm just pushing into the wall. My knees are even. I want to make sure I'm not too close with this knees in front of the other knee. So my knees are even. As I go to hinge, like an RDL, I'm going to kind of reach that dumbbell across slightly over this front leg and then pull it back in. I don't want to reach all the way or anything because you twist your back. So it's just a small reach towards your foot, back up. Reach towards your foot, back up. And it's that same hinging motion you would do if feet were even. It's just going to put that foot into the wall as you do it. But again, the leg that's up on the wall, that's the side the dumbbell's on. And then you're going to do that quick little reach and pull.
Is the weight heavy?
It should be marginally. I wouldn't say it's going to be like your heaviest RDL. For you, I'd probably say about a 20 to a 25 would be good to start with.
Okay.
And then kind of go from there. Your next one is a tall kneeling single arm super band row. So here's the band. Move at a small angle so you can see me, but both knees are down. Spread the floor apart. Get your hips underneath you. One arm starts in, one arm starts out with the band. And as you row the band, the other arm reaches out and then bring it back in. So row and reach, bring it back. Row and reach, bring it back. Again, you do both sides. So that's your tall kneeling single arm super band, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's that circuit. The next circuit is a single leg squat to box with a dumbbell press out. So you use your bench or box. But ideally, it should be about 18 inches or so, which your bench should be around there. But you got this. This would be a very light dumbbell, like an 8 or a 10, somewhere around there. But box or bench is gonna be right behind you. Hold the dumbbell either here or there, your choice. Or you're gonna balance on one leg as you go to squat. Reach that dumbbell out, tap the box to your butt, pull it back in. Reach, tap, pull right back in. So ideally, not sitting down and then standing back up. If you have to, you have to. Or you can put like a pad there so it raises up a little bit more. But it's reaching that dumbbell, a little tap and go. Just a little bounce. And then the next one is a 3-point dumbbell. Oh, I'm sorry. That should say staggered. So 3-point staggered double IPSY row. My mistake. Sorry about that. What I mean by staggered is I'm gonna have one foot in front, one foot slightly behind. Now you want to row on the side of the leg that's in front. That's the IPSY. So my opposite hand is gonna go on the ground, on the bench. The leg that's in front, that's the side the dumbbell's on. And you just row like normal. Set and row. Eventually, we're gonna be setting this up for kind of a single leg balance row. We got some things we're working on that we're leading up to it. But again, staggered position. The leg that's in front is the side the dumbbell's on. Other leg's back. Hold yourself on the bench and just row. And then your final one is a 6-point rotary stability with a hand on a yoga block. You do have a yoga block, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me grab a block. I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so got your block. It's just gonna be on the floor. So hands on the block. And I really don't like to cut off some of myself. There we go. There you go. So hand on the block, hand on the floor. The hand that's on the block, you're the one that's going to be pushing through the block. Other hand's going to kind of rise up. Just see. And as I push through, this hand and this knee kind of lift up and back down. I'm not picking them up because that's really easy. It's about pushing this hand and this knee into the floor harder to raise myself up and even me out and back down. And just so you can see the knee, go from the side too. So I'm here, pushing through this hand and the opposite knee, and then the other limbs are kind of rising up and back down. Again, I'm not picking up. It's about pushing and evening myself out. I can't stress that enough. But you should feel your shoulder working. You should feel kind of a little tension across your core working to the other hip. And then obviously when you switch sides, you should feel the other way. That's your rotary stability. And your finisher is a Dynamax complex. You have something to throw at, like a wall or anything like that?
Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought you said, and I did make it that way, but I wanted to make sure. So let's go over those. I'm gonna have to use the wall over here. Good song on the back. All right, make sure you can see me. Hopefully that stays. It's on the RX pads in the back. So I'm gonna grab a quick, grab your ball I was using earlier. So you have a little complex there, Mandy. So if you're seeing it at the bottom, it'll say Dynamax complex, everything's for 8. Your first one is a squat to a chest pass. So I don't want to throw up because I know you probably don't have room in your house to throw overhead. So not a wall ball toss, what it's gonna be is a squat and then toss in front. Squat, toss in front. You do 8 of those. When you are done with 8, you're gonna do overhead throw with a step. So take the ball, step, throw it and catch. Take the ball, step, throw it and catch. And you're gonna do 8 each side, so 16 total. And your next one is a side rotational toss. This is also each side. So I'm gonna toss and catch, toss and catch. 8, turn around, 8 more. And the final one is take that ball and slam it for 8. Then you rest. All the 4 of those, you're gonna try to do without resting.
Okay.
And then you finally take your breather. That counts as 1 round. And then you do 2 or 3. And by the end, I mean, it's still the same amount of sets. It's just about going faster or harder. But that is it for the program. So I'm gonna bring you upstairs so I can take this mask off and breathe. And then I'll have to bring my dog down because I know everybody's dying to me. So let me take this recording off.